Good morning. It is Friday, December 15th, and I just wanted to do a quick check-in, make sure everybody's okay. Do you need any snacks? Do you need a drink? Do you need to use the restroom before we continue? I know that Inkvent is long, and sometimes people get tired, but we're almost there. We can do this. It's, the joy of the holiday season, opening a tiny present every day. All right. So these are the previous inks from previous years. In 2019, there was this is a blurple, I think. It's kind of hard to tell in this light. I'm pretty sure it's a blurple called Festive Joy. The 2 years later, in 2021, there was a purple standard called Nightshade. So Festive Joy has some sheen in here. Nightshade has, I can't tell if that is the Red Robin seeping through or if there's just a hint of multichrome. I'm going to assume it's the Red Robin seeping through, and we're going to ignore the little pink that shows up in the lighter areas. In 2022 is a sheen, scent and sheen is what the little box said. It's Pick Me Up. Depends on who you ask as to what it's supposed to smell like. I think a lot of people agree that it's supposed to be coffee something, or maybe tiramisu. It is really wet, much like all of the other scented inks. It just tends to go down. As for today, I have no idea what color it might be. I think I'm leaning towards something dark, because up to this point, really the only dark one that we've had is Nightfall. Everything else, I mean, you could argue that Bah Humbug is a dark, because that is a deep red. But for example, in 2021, there were a lot of really dark inks. There was Tempest and Storm and Stargazer and Black Ivy and Garland. And we just haven't seen a whole lot like that. So I don't know what color. I think I'm leaning towards brown. I don't think it's going to be shimmer. I think it's going to be a standard. Are we leaning towards brown and I'm going to write down blue? I think that might end up being what happens. So, moment of truth. Yeah, I'm going to write blue. Blue standard. Because I don't have enough blues, right? I have so many blues. Okay, let's pull this year's out. It's the 15th? It's the 15th. Where? There it is. Walnut. I should have gone with the brown. Am I going to struggle to get it out again? Yes I am. Let's smush all these doors back in. Okay, so walnut, which is a standard. I should have gone with my gut. All right. I'm excited about the brown. Dude. Well, right. There, walnut. I expect that this will be a lot like when it dries, you'll see red in the dark tones. It's a really pretty wood, and I would expect for this to be a really pretty ink. So we will come back when this dries. Now, there's not a whole lot of ink that was actually in this blob, so I think that it is not strictly true to what it will look like in writing, but it is interesting to me how the lighter areas are much cooler than the darker areas, and you can see that there is some like almost red shading in the center of that mass tone. So I actually have another ink by the name Walnut, and that is going to be, I have a sample of Noodler's Walnut, and this is a much redder ink. I also cannot stand using this ink. It goes down so strangely for me. Some people love Noodlers. I do not. Especially this one. This one is such a strange texture. But you can see that it is a whole lot more red than the Diamine Walnut. And the other ink that I have that I thought was going to be an interesting comparison is Urban's Cacao de Brazil. And it is a lot closer, I think. It gets some of the cool undertones, but it goes too far the other way. It is much more cool and honestly a lot grayer than this walnut. So, but I think this is a really solid, lovely brown. I think that it's interesting to see the progression of basically two blurples and then two browns on the 15th over the past couple years. And I think this one is interesting even in contrast to those. And it doesn't smell like coffee or tiramisu or whatever that smell is. Anyways, happy Friday. Bye. You helping? Yeah?